You are in the middle of a conflict. Someone says something that cuts deep, and your system suddenly locks. The words disappear. Your face goes blank. You go entirely silent. Society often labels this behavior the silent treatment. It is viewed as a calculated, manipulative weapon, a deliberate choice to punish someone else by withholding communication. This assumption overlooks the internal reality. The mind has reached its processing limit and shifted into a state of acute panic. This creates a strange paradox. From the outside, you look empty, but the interior experience is defined by high-frequency noise. You are quiet because your mind is too loud to hear anything else. That silence is a symptom of total system overload. To understand why it happens, we have to look at the specific biological sequence that forces the human voice to shut off when the emotional stakes are high. For a highly aware mind, social reality functions like a complex equation running in the background. Every interaction is something to be solved and interpreted to ensure nothing goes wrong. This involves metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking. Instead of simply being present in the argument, a part of your mind detaches to monitor your own emotional reactions and tone in real time. At the same time, you are tracking a massive stream of external data. You notice the half-second delay before they reply, the subtle tightening of their posture, and the micro shifts in their vocal tone. Cognitive empathy then layers on even more data. You begin absorbing the unspoken expectations and the mounting disappointment of the other person, pulling their stress directly into your own system. This incoming flood creates a massive processing bottleneck. With so much energy diverted toward analyzing the room and the self, the brain loses the ability to form words, leading to a temporary shutdown. This relentless analysis stems from a primal need for safety. You are searching for a way to solve the threat, but the sheer weight of the data eventually causes the machinery to stall. This sensory load happens internally too. Interoception allows you to sense your racing heart and shallow breath, adding another layer of internal alarms that the brain must interpret as information. When the brain can no longer manage both the external social data and these internal physical signals, it triggers an automatic freeze response. In this state, verbal communication is taken offline. The body redirects all available energy towards baseline survival, leaving you physically unable to speak. But why does the nervous system interpret a social disagreement as a life or death threat in the first place? This hypersensitivity often begins in childhood. It is a common adaptation for those who grew up in environments where moods shifted without warning and safety depended on reading the room perfectly. In those moments, hypervigilance and the ability to go silent were vital tactics. Disappearing into the background was the most effective way to avoid a volatile situation. The nervous system permanently adapted to this need. It became highly efficient at predicting emotional shifts, learning to stay one step ahead of potential conflict by constantly scanning for danger. This adult freeze response is a legacy survival program, a sequence that continues to run even though the original environment has long since disappeared. This silence is not a character flaw. It is an adaptation forged through rapid pattern recognition, a survival strategy that required high-level cognitive processing to navigate a volatile world. However, as an adult, this hyper-awareness acts as armor. You remain constantly braced for a threat, making it nearly impossible to participate in the moment. To change this, you have to teach the nervous system that the danger it is sensing is no longer present. The path forward involves a technique called selective perception. Selective perception works by breaking the loop between the data you see and the meaning assigned. By filtering these inputs, noticing a tone shift without triggering a disaster simulation, you prevent the observer node from hijacking your system's processing power. As you stop treating every micro-expression as a problem to solve, the body learns that noticing does not equal danger. This lowers the cognitive load, allowing you to remain present and verbal even when the environment feels tense. Carrying this invisible mental load is an exhausting way to live. If you felt this silence, consider sharing this explanation.